Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Dorothy Morgan. We're going to do the astrology for June 14th, Flag Day here in the United States. I'm going to talk about that. Today, there's a full moon. That video has been out for quite a few days. I will connect it to the end here, so you'll be able to go right to it. And we're also going to do, if you're new here, welcome. We're going to do some Astro Dice. And we also do a pull from this deck. So it gives us just a little more rounded information, but I'm an astrologer. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you so you're able to see the chart that I'm talking about. And so here we are. So here's the chart for June 14th. I've just randomly picked at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I don't talk about the midheaven or the ascendant because we're all in a different place on the planet, and we don't talk about the house placements because that is very specific to where you are. So I won't talk about that, but the full moon forecast, I want you to go check that out because that is, 20 minutes of lots of content. And I just wanted to give this as more information. So today, while the moon is full, and the moon is way out of bounds in this fiery sign of Sagittarius, the last aspect that it makes today in the sign of Sagittarius is the square aspect to Neptune. Here we are, mutable fire, mutable water. These two come together in a square aspect. The square aspect, and that is actually halfway between the full moon because the sun also squares Neptune. How powerful is Neptune, right? He's in his own sign. He's very powerful. He's very powerful. So this kind of waters things down a little bit, but it helps us to, if you will, to take what happens and what culminates today at this full moon, take that and let's Neptune with it. And what does that mean? Let's Pisces with it. Let's mutable. Let's be flexible and changeable and sort of soften the gaze and slow down that fiery energy of that moon in Sag. Now, you don't have to slow it down if you're having fun and you're creating a lot of information and content and you're sharing that with others because that's your authentic you. But when we do have a square between two planets that are fire sign, water sign, it does help to slow things down a little bit. Fire to water creates steam, so that can create movement and action. But if there's a lot of water to fire, that kind of puts it out, so it gets kind of dull. So how do you want to use this for yourself today? So the final aspect, again, that the moon makes while it's in the sign of Sagittarius is that square to Neptune. So to me, that represents no boundaries. Again, are we overreacting? Is the energy of that fiery Sagittarius full moon too much to handle, right? We can feel that. We can feel that there's a lot of flash and a lot of fire to this. Again, the full moon forecast will give you more content, but this aspect after the full moon, that moon square Neptune, will be at, let me get the time here. It is Eastern time, please. And it's just at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So once we get to that point, after that, the moon is void, of course, until it moves into Capricorn. And once it hits 0 Capricorn, that is one of the cardinal points. We're getting closer to the sun being at the cardinal point of 0 Cancer. So this represents that today, on the Tuesday, the 14th, there's this opportunity to recognize what that full moon is representing to you, to flow with it a little more easier. However, we have to focus on that. That might not be easy with all of this mutable energy, mutable air information, mutable water. I want to flow. I want to just chill. And then mutable fire. I just want to go do what I want to go do and play and have fun, explore. So this afternoon, honestly, after 11, all the way until the moon gets into the sign of Capricorn, again, that is at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So between the exact aspect to Neptune and the time the moon enters the sign of Capricorn, It's like Sagittarius free for all. I'm thinking of it here in New Hampshire is Laconia Motorcycle Bike Week. I used to go to it all the time. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of play, a lot of motorcycle riding, very Sagittarius energy, play, have fun, the freedom of the road, that's Sagittarius. The water that comes in, because it's up at Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. And there's, I mean, I used to ride it all the time. There's just tons of people having fun, gathering. It's the first time we've had a normal one in a few years, just like many events. So to me, this is like really going to be an amazing full moon. Yeah, you guys are going to really kick your heels up. So I don't know if anyone's watching, but that's just what I would look at. Even though this is just a Tuesday night in the middle of the week, it's a great opportunity to kick your heels and play and have fun. All right, I'll put the full moon, like I said, at the, it'll be attached to the end of this. So let's see what is the next. Hello. Oh my God, I caught it. I was shuffling and one fell out and Gemini, the hands. I know I talked fast today. I wish I hadn't have done that quite so fast, but you can slow me down here on YouTube. You can go in to the little, find the little cog wheel that's with this video and go in and playback speed. And if I'm too fast, you could slow me down. Or if I'm too slow, you can speed me up. Sometimes when people have like hour and a half, 2 hour forecasts, I'm like, this is too long. And I speed them up if I want to hear it. All right, so paying attention. What does Spirit want us to know? This is an opportunity to answer a question if you have a question. I see the sign of Gemini, the moon in Gemini in the 11th house. Well, that's just fantastic considering what I just said. The moon is gathering with families, our emotions, right? It's, you know, being with the people that we love, whether we're our generic family, whether it's our genetic, I should say generic, whether it's our genetic family or not. So the moon in Gemini is communicating and going short distances to meet family or to meet friends. And it's in the 11th house, and that's the friend, that's the groups. So that in that environment, that event that's going on now and through all of next week, so it's a 10-day event, is a perfect example of this. Coming home to meet family, fellow riders, fellow bikers, just it's that, and to talk and to share and to have information, and just to be together. That's the moon in Gemini in the 11th house, together with friends, gathering. It's fantastic. Hey guys, come to my website, DorothyMorganAstrologer.com. I am a full-time astrologer. This is all I do. I have some fabulous mentor programs. I don't have any beginner classes right now. It's the summer in New Hampshire. Nobody wants to sit in class at night. Do have mentor programs available for those of you who have taken so many classes and you don't know how to put it together. I'm going to help you out with that. So come check that out. What do the cards say? One extra message for today. Peace pipe. Spirit of fire is on the bottom. That's spirit of water right there. That's where I used to live. I'm not too far from there now, but spirit of fire comes up. So that's the fiery energy of this full moon in Sag on the 14th. Peace pipe. So that's similar to the dice I threw, moon in Gemini in the 11th house. It's like maybe gathering together to speak with somebody. And when we have the peace pipe coming up, you know exactly what a peace pipe is. So it's about connecting and finding the neutral ground and being at peace with each other and with yourself, especially if there's internal dialogue going on. So peace pipe it is. Let me see if there's anything else this peace pipe wants to tell me. Healed old wounds with people and situations, whatever you need to do to make amends. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Yeah. Don't keep carrying the same burden. That's what the man wants us to do. He wants us to be upset and pissed off with each other all the time. If we're divided, they have more power. See these things because I love medieval history, and when I watch anything that's related to medieval history, it just reminds me of what goes on these days. You know, there's always some king up on the hill And who's that? Oh, I'm getting too political. That's our governments, those that control. Anyways, I looked up, I saw some birds. I'm going to leave us with that. I'm going down a rabbit hole. Blessings, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. That's the truth of the Sagittarius full moon right now. I have to tell you, that's what that is. Take good care. Blessings.